Welcome to week 6. This is a lecture about leadership by Terrence Hall. Learning outcomes and objectives to analyze the influence of organizational culture and processes on organizational effectiveness, to apply contemporary organizational behavior theories and concepts to develop a leadership approach that supports achievement of organizational goals. What is leadership? Leadership is the ability to develop a vision that motivates others to move with passion towards a common goal. So leadership is a process by which a person influences others to accomplish an objective and directs the organization in a way that makes it more cohesive and coherent. Basic traits of leadership: the ability to hear patiently, having a clear, logical thought process, the ability to take and make decisions, the ability to see implementation of decisions. There are 4 factors of leadership, and they are a leader, follower, situation, and communication. A leader, you must have an honest understanding of who you are, what you know, and what you can do. To be successful, you have to convince your followers, not your superiors, that you are worthy of being followed. Communication. The nonverbal communication is leading. For example, when you set an example that communicates to your people that you would not ask them to perform anything that they would not be willing to do. Bad communication harms the relationship between the leader and employee. Situation. We must use our judgment to decide the best course of action and the leadership style needed for each situation. Motivation. Motivation is the factor that causes, channels, and sustain an individual's behavior. There are 3 main approaches to motivation: need-based, process-based, learning reinforcement-based. These are the 3 different main approaches. The law of individual differences, a psychological term representing the fact that people differ in their personalities, abilities, self-concept, values, and needs. Maslow's hierarchy of need, the theory of motivation that people are motivated to meet 5 types of needs, which can be ranked in a hierarchy. There are groups and teams in leadership. Those type of teams consist of command team, committee, task and force project teams, informal teams, super and high performance teams, and self-managed teams. A command team is a team composed of a manager and the employees that report to that manager. The task force or project team is a temporary team formed to address a specific problem. A self-managed team is a team that manage themselves without any informal supervision. Now we get to our slide about communication. Having good communication as a leader is very important. What is communication? The process by which people attempt to share meaning via the transmission of symbolic messages. Factors influencing organizational communication. Individual ownership, the possession by certain individuals of unique information and knowledge concerning their work. Job specialization. It usually facilitates communication within different groups. Members of the same group are likely to share the same jargon, time horizons, goals, personal styles, things of that nature. There are three essential points to communication, and they are: communication involves people, and understanding communication therefore involves trying to understand how people are related to each other. Communication involves shared meaning, which suggests that in order for people to communicate, they must agree on definition of the terms that they are using. Communication involves symbols, gestures, sounds, letters, numbers. Words can only represent or approximate the ideas that are meant to communicate. That concludes my lecture. I will go into the section about the articles that I found related to this lecture today about leadership. Most important, leadership according to leaders around the world. How great leaders motivate their teams. Now, last one, the impact of communication on the decision-making process and organization. It's from the Forbes, from the Harvard Business Readings, and from Chronicles Small Business Online. The discussion questions for this week consist of: what is the relationship between motivation and job performance? Number 2, what are some of the challenges of being a great leader, and how does one overcome these challenges? Number 3, why is communication within an organization, so important? Thank you for your time, and this concludes my lecture. Have a good week. Welcome to week 6. This